I was asked in one. I think someone asked me if how's the film industry in Mindanao. There's no film
Industry,
industry.
exactly.
There are communities.
Yes.
There's no
But an industry?
industry. We're not there's no Mindanao filmmaking industry. But I think it's better if it's really communities working together, filmmaking communities together.
How do you think how is the regional film ecosystem? I mean, do we work collaboratively? How are we different from
Mm.
because because we have very limited resources and so we rely on each other, you know.
Yeah.
And I think well, you know, in numbers it seems like we're huge because like
They're
they're
growing.
we're growing, but it's still it's still close knit. It's still because
Yeah.
we rely on each other.
Yeah, that's true. Like here in Davao City, it started as the community I found that time started as a small group of friends, and it's here in this studio
Mm.
where we are now. So this has been the birthplace of a lot of also of a part of the Davao filmmaking community.
Legacy, yeah.
Yeah, but then also and then other filmmaking communities are also uh, developing in other areas in Mindanao, like in Cagayan de Oro City. They have their own community there. Butuan. It's really interconnected communities.
Organic,
Yeah,
yeah.
organic. And we do support each other. There's an established network, and well, there are difficult relationships also and certain
I think
dynamics.
creatives.
There,
Yeah.
creative
If you have an
differences.
artistic temperament, Chief, if you have an artistic temperament,
Of
yeah.
course, you have creative differences, and a lot of these filmmakers
And
have
political differences.
they're working. They're from different areas in Manila, but we've also worked together in film productions. So there are like filmmakers from Johnson working with filmmakers from Davao City,
Yeah, that's
etc.
true.
So we do
Or Nabunturan.
or Nabunturan. So we support each other's
Yeah.
film projects, and also our initiatives in our areas. And it's different when you're coming from a certain, like, we all come from Mindanao, so we also know that, like, we also know the issues here in Mindanao,
Yeah.
because of the kind of um is that fellowship that we have with our
Fellowship.
fellowship.
I'm probably Queen Galadriel, but
So there's that. I don't know. Well, we do have. Yeah. I mean, you can't remove of course, there are controversies that comes up, with different beliefs, etc.,
Yeah.
and also work ethics. But that's I think that's normal with any growing animal. But with the compensation, really need to
exactly,
strive
of course.
towards being
course.
fairly compensated
course.
for our work.
I think that should be
That's yes.
one of our goals. I think
one of our goals. Even among us, when we hire each other in our projects, we need to be thinking about how we can compensate each
Yes.
other fairly.
Yeah.
Because
And a lot of especially from young filmmakers
Yes.
and aspiring filmmakers, they would say, "Oh, okay lang kanang gusto lang mo tabang, gusto lang mo experience, gusto lang but I mean,
the thing is, we don't want to create a culture, that kind of
Yes,
culture,
exactly.
where we, lang ba, parang gamitan lang.
oo.
That's something that we have to look at. If we don't look at someone's work as, not, we don't value someone's work in that way. Na we could be also neglecting other aspects of, the person's welfare in the production.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah,
like
that's right.
how we perhaps one thing, it's not just paying for that person's labor, but also taking care of
They've eaten.
how they are fed
Fed,
in the
yeah.
production, if they feel safe in the production, safe, not just security,
with harassment.
but also
yeah.
sexual harassment.
Yeah. How do we establish safe spaces? Is it enough that we set up a desk, a welfare desk,
So it's really a problem of culture. It's not just the culture that's in the
Of course.
communities,
I
but
mean-
also the culture in general, how we
Yeah.
view
It's
like,
very macho.
yeah,
We're
very,
operating in a
yes.
patriarchal capitalist society.
That's true, still true. But then that's how I think that's why we also need to be well in the film community. We can work on guidelines. We can work on that.
Exactly.
But then also we really need to discuss this more. Not just put out guidelines.
Yeah.
You really need to
Talk
about it. Not just in
And
bigger
normalize.
circles, but really in smaller circles
Yeah.
among friends.
Yeah. And normalize
Because-
these things because
yeah.
it empower everyone. Now let's go to the more controversial topic.